Hello and welcome to today's lesson. I am your host Ian and my guest for today will be Mr. Joran. Good afternoon, Mr. Joran.
Good afternoon. How do you do?
How do you do too? Thank you. Mr. Joran and I will be demonstrating perimeter in real life situation. Mr. Joran, will you please show us what's in store for the viewers today?
With much pleasure. Now, today, our beloved viewers, we are going to demonstrate fencing using poles. As Ian will show us the diagram on the other side of the board, we're going to use to know the number of intervals using this piece of sugar cane. And I will ask Ian to count the number of nodes and internodes later on in the lesson. We are also going to count the number of strands of wire used in fencing, as you can see in that diagram near Ian. We're going to also look at the footpath or the entrance at the gate, where we're going to see the number of trees planted and at which interval, or the flower bushes at which intervals. We're also going to use to imagine a garden with a gate and count the number of pots and the number of intervals. We're also going to look at a running track. I know when we talk about a running track, Kenya is very happy, is very blessed in running. And we can remember the recent case of Helen Obiri getting a gold medal just recently. Ian, would you please count for us the number of internodes and nodes?
Which one do I start with?
Start with internodes.
Internodes.
Yes.
As you can see in the piece of sugarcane in front of us, the internodes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 internodes on the piece of sugarcane that we have.
Brilliant, brilliant. That's a good demonstration. Can you now please count the number of nodes?
The number of nodes. In the piece of sugarcane that we have in front of us, the number of nodes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's awesome. There are 9 nodes. And how many internodes?
8 internodes.
8 internodes. That means the nodes are more than the internodes by 1. The nodes are more than the internodes by 1. On the board, just close to Ian there. Ian, would you please count for us the number of poles in that rectangular piece of land?
In this piece of land that we have here, the number of nodes or intervals? Points or intervals?
Poles.
The poles.
Yes.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 poles.
20 poles. Brilliant. It is so easy to count. Learners, we are not calculating, but counting, just like you can count the number of fingers. Boys and girls, look at my fingers. On one hand, I have how many fingers?
5 fingers.
I have 5 fingers. What about the spaces between the fingers?
4 spaces.
4 spaces. Can we count? 1, 2, 3, and 4 spaces between the fingers. So you have 5 fingers against 4 spaces. What if I enclosed my 2 arms? How many fingers will I have?
10 fingers.
I'll have
10 fingers.
10 fingers. Can we count? Are they 10?
The fingers are 10, but I can see that their spaces are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now, Ian,
Yes.
2 fingers are attached to one,
So they make
so
they
one
make one
finger.
finger.
Yes.
So we have 9 fingers.
Count them,
1,
please.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fingers.
8 fingers.
So
And
if
how
we
many
have-
spaces?
So if we have 8 fingers, then we have 8 spaces.
8 spaces, because they are enclosed. For that is an enclosed garden without a gate to enter. Without a gate to enter. Brilliant. Viewer, back at home, you can do the same and demonstrate that. Now, I would like us to also look at the footpath. Maybe at an entrance of a big person, you would find a long stretch getting inside the compound. Can we count? Our host Ian will help us to count the number of tree bushes at the entrance of one side of the footpath. Ian, please count.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 poles.
On one side. Yet they are also bushes on the other side of the entrance. And you count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 poles.
Those 6 on each side of the entrance. So many poles are there in total at the entrance?
12 of them.
There are 12. There are 12 poles at the entrance. Can we now count the spaces between the bushes?
The spaces we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces.
On one side. And on the other side?
We also have 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces.
Brilliant. Those are 10 spaces in total against
12.
12 tree bushes. You can now imagine how many more tree bushes than the intervals. There are 2 more bushes. So that's what we are going to encounter today, Ian. I hope it will be very interesting.
I see it will.
It will be interesting. Can we try the strands of wire?
How am I supposed to count the strands of wire?
You are supposed to count the strands of wire by going round the garden once for 1 strand and twice for 2 strands. So as many as there are strands of wire. Would you tell us how many strands of wire are these?
So here we have 2 strands of wire.
We have 2 strands of wire there. Brilliant. And so if we have 3 strands of wire, we will have 3 multiplied by the perimeter of the garden. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Ian, what else would you want to know today?
First, I had a question.
Yes, please.
Why are there 5 poles and yet 5? And why are there 6 poles and 5 spaces?
There are 5 poles and 6 spaces because you start with a pole before you get to a space between that pole and the next pole. And then towards the end, we must also finish with a pole. So poles must be more than intervals. What else would you want to know here? Maybe at the running part. Something familiar with the running? How many laps can you run around the field?
Approximately 5.
5 laps around the field. Then you're a champion. Then you're a champion. We running around the field 5 times equals to the perimeter of the field multiplied by 5. Brilliant. Boys and girls, we will take you to other parts of the compound to learn more about perimeter in real life situations. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Bye. At this venue, we would like now to look at the real posts. Now, what are our posts today? Ian, our posts are these pillars. So we want to count how many pillars are used on this pavement. Learners, this is called a pavement. This is called a pavement and not a balcony. A balcony is to a story house, but a pavement is to a house that has only one floor, the ground floor. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
That's brilliant. And so, Ian, please count for us the number of pillars that are used on this pavement.
Starting with this one.
Yes, please start here.
So this will be our number 1.
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one, 6 pillars.
Isn't it beautiful, learners? This is a beautiful building, but that is not our issue. That's not our issue today. Nevertheless, we cannot hide our head in the sun, not noticing the beauty of this building. So, Ian, how many pillars do we have on this pavement?
We have 6 pillars on this pavement.
We have 6 pillars on this pavement.
Yes, sir.
Once again, I would like Ian to count the interval between the pillars.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Which interval do I start with? This one or this one?
That one is not an interval because
Why
there
is
is
it
no other pillar on that side.
But it's still a space.
It's a space, but away from our pillars.
So I should start from this one.
Yes, please.
So this one is irrelevant.
That one is irrelevant.
Then, so as I'm going to start, this one will be our first interval. Our second one. Our third one. Fourth one. Fifth one. And this will be our last one.
Yes, Ian. How many intervals between these pillars do we have on this pavement?
We have 5 intervals between these pillars.
That confirms that the number of pillars is more than the number of intervals by 1. Did you understand?
Yes, I understood.
And you learners at home, I hope you did understand. That one now connects us to our lesson that the number of pillars or posts is more than the number of intervals by 1.
In an open space.
In an open space. Thank you, Ian. That's brilliant of you. Now, we will go to another place to continue learning about number of intervals and number of spaces between them. I hope you like our series today.
Yes, I
Enjoy with us the next scene. Thank you. Ian,
Yes.
here we are. We assemble here every Monday and every Friday. What is the name of this place?
This is our courtyard,
A courtyard.
but we use it as an assembly ground.
We use it as an assembly ground. It is also called a quadrangle. A quadrangle in mathematics is a four-sided space. It's a four-sided space. From the word quadrilateral. From the word quadrilateral.
Which is also from the word quad, which means 4.
Very good, Ian. Now, around our quadrangle, there are pillars. Can we see them?
Yes, we can.
Please point at one pillar.
We have one here for
That is a pillar. That is A pillar. It is called a pillar. Now, is it possible to count how many pillars we have in this quadrangle?
Yes, it is possible.
It is possible here. Would you please help us in counting? Please start with the one at the corner.
I was intending to do that.
Very good.
We are going to start from this pillar. This will be our first pillar. Our second one. Third pillar. Fourth one. Fifth one. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. We have 20 pillars around the courtyard.
Very good, Ian. We have 20 pillars around the courtyard. We have seen him counting one pillar after the other. Boys and girls at home, we cannot continue counting the pillars and the other intervals. The same method we used in counting the pillars and the intervals is the same method that can be applied in this place. Boys and girls, I hope you have understood the theory behind counting the pillars and counting the intervals between them. Yeah? That is a demonstration of perimeter in real life situation. We can use perimeter to fence our gardens at home, our compound, the borders of our schools and institutions. We can use perimeter in real life to run around or walk around a field, and that is perimeter. Now that is all for today. In our next episode, we will be demonstrating perimeter in cycling using a bicycle or rolling a hula hoop on the floor. I know those are the games you love doing, and you will enjoy it. Today, back to our host to give us a parting shot.
Today we have learned about perimeter in real life situations. As you have seen, we have demonstrated in all the places that we will have access to, in open spaces and in closed spaces. So today, as we are finishing this lesson, I hope you enjoyed it, and you are welcome to the next lesson. I have been your host for today, and my name is Ian. Back to you, teacher.
My name is Teacher Jora. With pleasure, goodbye for now.